Hey guys, welcome back to AndrewBuilt. Thanks for joining. My name's Andrew, and as you may know, I am a licensed contractor here in the state of Michigan. I do a lot of projects, both commercial and residential, in Oakland County and surrounding Detroit areas. So as we all know, 2021 and 2020 before us has been absolutely crazy for the building industry. We started with just a drop in demand mid-2020, and then as soon as things started opening back up, materials went through the roof, lead times skyrocketed, and we've certainly had our fair share of challenges. But there's a lot of reasons why I think 2021 is a great time to get into the construction industry, build your business, or expand on what you already have. So stick around till the end. I'm going to show you a lot of ideas about what's going to be good for you when you're thinking of getting into construction. So first thing is going to be the lumber prices. That's what's on everyone's mind. And the reasons for these lumber increases are still being debated. But what it comes down to is really just the supply and the demand in the market above us, in the commodity buying market. So everyone goes to lumber yards and they see that there's plenty of lumber on the shelves and they're asking, why are prices increased so much? So that disconnect is still being figured out. But the good thing is, I think lumber will come back down. Eventually, when everything settles out, the suppliers are going to know that they need to compete on price again at some point, and lumber prices are going to come back down. Now, what I think this could be one thing that is going to affect the real estate market, in the later half of this year and coming into 2022, which is why being a builder is good because you get the material prices at the best rate available from the lumber yards, and you can reflect that in your home prices, and it doesn't actually affect you in the end. The fact is, consumers want houses right now. Lending is at an all-time high as far as low prices and loan applications, and right now, as a consumer, you can get loans between 3 and 4%. And as a builder for doing construction projects, I've got friends that are getting construction loans between 4 and 6%, which is just absolutely phenomenal. So it's basically like free money when you factor in inflation. So that's a great reason to get into construction this year. Money is cheap. When my parents were doing this 20 years ago, rates were 13 to 15% APR. Can you imagine that in today's world? Just unreal. So the second reason to get construction this year is because consumer demand has never been higher, at least since my generation, pre-2008. Right now, trying to get a house on the resale market is absolutely impossible. Prices go for 10, 20% over listing, and there's just not enough demand to meet the supply, which pushes people right into new construction. Now, typically new construction is something where you're bidding against other contractors for a low price or a higher quality in order to get these customers in. These days, the barriers to entry are high being a construction contractor, but there's a lot of clients out there looking for houses. Now, one thing being a contractor is we need to reinsure our clients that they're getting the best value, and now is a good time to go. People see these high prices of lumber and they say, well, I'm never going to get into new construction. But the fact is, today's technology in construction is good, and the materials are built in a good way that's going to make a waterproof, safe house, which is good for generations, and now has never been a better time to build a house. Now, one negative thing to think about when you're building a house this year, being either a contractor or a homeowner, lead times have been enormous on materials. So what we normally see is lumber, you could get a lumber package in a week typically. Now plan on 3 to 4 weeks. This is because lumber is shipped all across the country from different regions as supply and demand changes, and the shipping companies are down on labor, the suppliers are down on labor, and there has been shutdowns in the manufacturing facilities due to outbreaks of the virus or just general issues associated with overseas travel. Even include customs in that. Every government agency is behind right now. So when you're doing a house, either if it's lumber, materials, little finishes for the house, you want to probably double what you normally expect for a lead time. But this isn't a problem for a builder who is well versed. You start your project with a list of selections you need to make, a list of materials you need to procure, and just do everything a couple weeks ahead of time, and you won't feel any effects of these extra material lead times. It's all just pre-planning. If you're nervous to get into new construction this year, don't be. Because one of the biggest things we're seeing is that, like I mentioned, demand is through the roof. And especially working with experienced real estate agents can be a great aspect because these real estate agents have clients that are either ready to buy or have a timeline for buying, and they can't find houses on the resale market like we talked about. So the good thing is if you're building a spec house or you're building a house from the ground up, you could potentially sell this house even before you do the finishing touches. I've seen it happen time and time again in our market here in Michigan, and I have friends in Colorado, same deal. They are buying houses that have already been designed, already been selected by someone else, and they're still willing to, forget about a couple of the details that they want because they want to get in a house before the price goes up by 5% a couple weeks later. It's really unreal. So work with your local real estate agents. There's a couple of good ones here in Michigan, and of course there's ones good all over the country. It's going to be a huge asset. That just ties into everything. Is the biggest thing is communicating with everyone in your field and talking to all the industry experts and getting their opinions. Because while everyone might have a different opinion on what lumber prices are doing to the industry and what the pandemic is going to do as things trail out here and consumer demand increases, the biggest thing is just knowing what's going on in your market, and that's the best way to succeed. Is keep talking to people and know what's going on. So guys, if you found this content valuable, definitely click the subscribe button down below. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the 4th of July. We've got about a month. It's an ambitious goal, but we really want to hit it because I think I'm going to provide great value for everyone here. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you on the next one.